In this video, we are talking gain staging and how to give your music the right balance of breathing room and impact. Think of your audio like a photograph. Not enough light and you miss the important details of the picture. Too much light and the details are overpowered by the brightest spots. Boosting a dark image will also boost a lot of noise, and overexposed images are forever stuck that way. Audio systems, including headphones, are similar. The HDB 630, for example, lets you control volume on the ear cup, but you might be trying to boost a signal that can't actually go any louder. Or if you have too much audio gain at once, you run out of headroom and hit the loudness ceiling and your music sounds choked. Here are some ways to get the perfect balance of power and finesse with your active headphones, such as the HDB 630. Let's start at the source device. If you are listening from a smartphone, go ahead and jump into your settings menu. On iOS or iPadOS, go to Sounds, then tap Headphone Safety and adjust the Reduce Loud Audio setting. Turning it on will limit the output, and turning it off will give you the most gain to work with. In Android's settings, you can toggle absolute volume on or off, which gives you independent volume control over OS and hardware volume, letting you optimize the gain to taste. On Galaxy devices, go to Settings, Sounds and Vibration, and then Volume. Tap the submenu to toggle your media volume limiter on, off, or customize it. Also, the Galaxy Store has an app called Sound Assistant for fine-tuning the volume steps on your handset, giving you granular control. Windows is a bit more complex. Your settings for sound can be controlled a few different ways on most builds, and the overall output is tied to the volume controls on your keyboard or headphones. First, go to Settings, Sound, and then Output, which reveals a volume slider. You can also access the advanced sound settings to adjust the source mixer. If your audio source is a browser-based streaming service, for example, you want to keep this slider high. To get hardware device specific, choose All Sound Devices from that same section and adjust. On macOS, go to Settings and select Sound. Your device, if connected, has an output that you can set, but will be tied to the overall system volume controls on your keyboard or headphones. These global settings will clear the path so that you don't have to try and boost an already limited signal. Okay, let's talk apps. Check if the app or software you are using has gain settings. For example, Apple Music has a sound check feature that normalizes songs to a similar level, and that typically reduces the volume output. Disable this if you want additional gain to control manually. In Spotify and Tidal, their playback settings also have a normalization toggle. Off is typically best for audio purists, as it gives you the most dynamic range as mixed and mastered. Browser-based players have their own volume controls, so make certain they are feeding the operating system enough output to pass along to the headphones. Lastly, your perception of loudness may change with spatial audio or other acoustics processing, so consider disabling those to work with the purest audio signal before it gets to the headphones. Okay, what is headroom and why does it matter? There is a finite amount of empty space between the quiet parts of the music and the maximum volume. If you are using our EQ, the EQ needs space to work so that you can boost and cut frequencies while retaining the overall dynamics we established earlier in this video. If your audio signal is already crushed, EQ boosts won't have any room to expand, and if you try to boost everything to the max, your EQ adjustments will squash the music. Use the gain control and the earlier gain staging tips to get the perfect balance of fluid, dynamic music with ample volume to get your head nodding. Reference listening is more than just frequency response, it's dynamics too. Some of the most enjoyable music is a roller coaster of volume which adds drama and emotion to the music. The HDB 630 was designed to immerse you in that music, not overpower you with it. So remember to listen responsibly, take a break now and then, and keep it reasonable so that you can enjoy your hearing for years to come. Thanks for watching. Happy listening.